I was supposed to fly out, do this role. And yeah, like a week before, they cut my role. Like I didn't even get to go to set. Like they cut that scene out completely. And I was so mad because I'm like, Hey, it's Shireen Francis here, coming to you from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I am on a vacation and a break from acting, producing, still doing some work around my digital marketing because that's what actually paid for this vacation. In this video, I'm going to talk about getting cut from my first movie. So imagine you are in your first couple years of acting and you finally land a movie role. This is a role where you have multiple lines, you're actually seen, you're not in the background, and you have a pivotal role. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way that I wanted it to. First of all, I'll say that I was surprised that I booked this role, and the movie will remain nameless just because, but I was surprised that I booked the role in the first place because I had to have a Southern accent. And so luckily we have YouTube. I Googled some Texan accents, some Southern accents where I would need to have a drawl or all or be able to sound like I have an accent and that I'm from the South. Obviously I'm not, but I didn't sound Canadian and I had a bit of a drawl in order to book the role, and I did. And so here I am studying for this role, have a couple of lines, wonderful, get to set. It was wonderful. I had my own trailer. It had some pretty good, I wouldn't say they're A-list actors right now, but they were up there at some point in time in their career. And yeah, I went to set, had that full experience of being on a Hollywood movie. So we're filming, everything goes great. But as we all know, the acting industry did experience strikes in 2020. Was it 2023? Yeah. And luckily, I was able to go to set, film my role, etc. And I would say a week after I left set, that production and all productions shut down. So that included strikes in Canada as well. There was nobody making any movies. I was like, okay, cool, like at least I got to go to set, I got paid for going to set, and I figured that, you know, when everything's up and running again, they'll pick back up on the production in terms of what they were creating, etc. Because I mean, this set had money, like I could tell that they had money. So as we know, there's time that passes, and in 2024, it was time for the movie to come out. And I was like, woohoo, like I can't wait, you know. I hope my role didn't get cut, and I was like, it shouldn't get cut because the lines and the scene that I had would have been important for the storyline. So there's no way that I could get cut. So I always used to hear that, you know, never talk about a role until it's fully out. Like never talk about it until it's there and you've watched it and you can confirm that your scene is there. But, you know, I told my dad and I told some close family members, and then they told people, and people were like, yeah, I can't wait to anticipate this new movie. So it comes out and I am there in the theaters to watch it the first day or maybe the second day it came out, and I watched the movie and I kept watching and I kept watching and I wasn't there. As a matter of fact, not only was I not there, but a whole storyline that was a part of that movie, those characters were on set at least for a month, though that whole storyline was taken out. And so what can you do? You know, I think what did happen was maybe the production couldn't afford to continue to pick things up. Who knows? But I do know that we had those strikes. And so I think that maybe they just couldn't fill in the gaps that were missing. I have no idea what happened, but when I went to watch the movie, what I did notice was like the movie was a good movie, very inspirational, but it only had that one through line story. It didn't have like layers. You know how you will cut back to another story and then go back to the main storyline, and it didn't have any of that. It was just like pretty much the one storyline. So what is the lesson from this? One, absolutely don't talk about it till it's on the screen. I heard that lesson and now I feel the lesson. Lesson number 2 is, you really gotta just get excited, be grateful for the opportunities that come. However they come, they might not go through to the end, and that's just how the business is. But at the end of the day, I'm proud that I booked that role. I'm proud that I went on set. Actually, this is the second time this happened. The first time this happened was actually with a TV series. The role I had, maybe 5 lines, but it was a great like beginner role for a comedy, and I was supposed to fly out, do this role, and yeah, like a week before they cut my role. Like I didn't even get to go to set. Like they cut that scene out completely, and I was so mad because I'm like, right? And what I'll say about that is they did pay me because it was a union film, and because they already booked me and we had agreed that I would be filming, they paid me for the time that I would have had on set. But obviously I wouldn't get like scale or whatever, because scale is like once it's aired and broadcasted. Like I never got any of that because I'm not on the screen at that point. But what I would have gotten if I was on set, I did get that. So this is actually 2 times, and I would say both of those times were like significant shows or movies. Like the TV series that I would have been on, if I say the name, you'll know the name. That particular comedy has been renewed. And then the movie that I was cut from, it's on Netflix. It was in theaters in Canada and USA. So they were significant projects that would have really built up my portfolio. So it's a little sad and disappointing on that end. And ever since I would say 2023, I had a really good season of like bookings leading up to, I would say, 2021. And then it's been kind of slow ever since I crossed over to union. It's been slower, obviously more competitive. And those were my 2 union big gigs that I booked, but again, I got cut. Have you ever been cut from a role? Have you booked something and been cut? I want to hear your stories. I don't want to name drop in terms of shows or movies, but I'm sure you guys have some stories. Give some encouragement. Let's keep ourselves motivated, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.